Baby, don't make
I think women can do anything.
No, I'm good right now. Okay, guys, welcome back. We are here to watch a movie that is not for us.
Critically panned.
Yeah, well, it's not for
Men?
white men.
Well, men in general.
It's not for men in general, but they deliberately say white men.
Oh.
Sleep at night.
I'm a lead programmer on a product that can revolutionize the power industry, but there is a possibility it can be weaponized.
To Charlie's Angels 2019, thoughts and opinions.
First of all, I'm going to go with the characters. The characters are pretty much just... Okay. First of all, I'm going to go with the characters. Well, first of all, I'm going to go with the characters. Okay. The characters are pretty... I mean, they're not any different than each other. I look at it like the Charlie's Angels in 2000, whatever. 2003, 4. 2004 was like full throttle. But still, each character had their own unique traits. And here, every character kind of has their own, like, I'll be quirky here, I'll be quirky there. So no character really has its own identity. The action is absolutely terrible. I mean, first of all, if you're shooting a gun at something that cannot be injured, and at first I thought both vehicles could not be injured whatsoever, and the big machine gun can't break through a tiny little, like, nothing car, but it breaks through the window. But you're like, wait, is this car indestructible? You just don't understand. Is the car indestructible, but like, certain aspects are?
It's like in Superman where they keep throwing them through buildings after the 15th building and it didn't kill you yet.
Well, no, it's like Superman, where everybody keeps shooting at Superman with guns, and yet the guns keep bouncing off of him, but they keep shooting him with guns. Why? It's just pointless.
I think it was a little in your face. The dialogue in the beginning of just, hey, look, the women empowerment thing.
Yeah.
Sure, you know what? Sure, feed that to me. Fine. But then as soon as the opening montage is just little girls everywhere, just all around the world.
Girls in general.
Girls. And it's like, Charlie's Angels. It's like, okay.
I understand if it was maybe showing, like, different angels throughout the world.
Yeah.
But it was literally just showing girls, and you're like, you're a little heavy-handed on what you're trying to say right now.
And then
it's funny. I mean, it's not even empowering. That's just funny.
All the girls, they're serious, but their quirk doesn't show in a serious situation.
No,
it's almost like
you can do a quirk, but don't ruin your character to do it.
Yeah.
Don't out of nowhere you're going to make a little joke, but it's almost seems forced, that joke. It's like, we need to add a joke here.
Right, like, okay, I want to compare it to the other Charlie's Angels. You had Lucy Liu was always serious and
until she was around her boyfriend.
Until she was around her, then she was a bumbling idiot.
Then she was bumbling, and it was fun.
It was funny, but either way, she was serious. So you saw
Cameron Diaz's character was always...
She's always
quirky.
Bubbly, even when she's fighting. And when she's doing the action. When she's doing... she's always bubbly.
All of them had something.
Right.
Yes.
This is... Let's pause the movie and give a weird, out of character... I guess it's supposed to be their character... dumb line. It's like... But it's almost like they're trying to talk really, really fast and finish... Oh, I need to finish this line before the scene ends. Going on.
No. But you also see when they start talking to each other.
Yeah.
They're not just talking to each other. It's like, hey, how fast can we talk to you? How fast can we say each line? Oh, hey, blah, 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 blah. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And it's almost reminiscent of 2016's Ghostbusters.
Right. It's like,
where it's like, can you just shut up and say the line? Like, say it and have it mean something. Give a pause. Have that line mean something. Have that joke mean something. Don't say something right afterwards. It's just the pacing of the comedy.
right, like, Kristen Stewart's character had to say, oh, yeah, no, taking the lady away is a good idea. Let me see. But she had to say that so quick. Because, oh, hey, you have to get into the action
Keep
sequence.
in mind, we're not saying girls can't be funny.
No.
What was that one movie that you were like, oh my god, girls are so funny in this movie?
What movie was that?
The girls are hilarious. I remember you saying that all the time.
I mean, they were funny in Sonic.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Sonic?
Yeah, all the
sister-
female characters were
sister
hilarious.
the sister was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
I was laughing.
The female characters were absolutely hilarious in that
Yeah.
movie.
That's how you write comedy.
But you pause.
Right.
Comedy
Like, I
is
laughed.
pausing.
I laughed when she was like, you know how I was calm the whole time? Yeah. Oh yeah. High five. And, yeah. Okay. What the fuck? she's
But that's just it.
Has
Is
time to freak out.
there's
Like, that's good.
when you add the dramatic pause for a comedy, that's what makes comedy. It's not just saying a bunch of things real quick.
It's not being serious at a workplace, lighting a candle, and then starting to rap out of context.
No. What is funny is sending in a letter to a "please help me" Jesus thing, and it ends up being the story of Fresh Prince from Bel-Air, and he's reading the rap. That was funny.
Diana, we need to go.
Now!
You're not a waitress? No, I'm Jane. Oh.
Who are you?
I'm Bosley. Welcome to the Townsend Agency. We exist because traditional law enforcement can't keep up.
I don't like that, boy.
You guys are like lady spies. Jane's former MI6. Oh, God.
What did you do to Sven? I compressed his carotid and deoxygenated his brainstem. Well, that sounds painful.
Don't worry, he's gonna wake up.
Unless he doesn't.
Sabina runs the ground game.
See, I know stuff.
Alright. Okay, we didn't stop it a whole bunch of times because I just wanted to just push through this one. What was your thoughts of Charlie's Angels 2019?
I think some of the jokes were way too over the top. Like her, like, okay, so you know Kristen Stewart's character was a lesbian, and she's fisting the soap dispenser until it finally creams. That was that was not. I didn't.
Wasn't
find that,
subtle at all.
I didn't find that funny.
I find, I mean, it's not the first action movie that makes lighthearted jokes about killing people.
No, you know what? Here's the thing. I thought it could have been a cute movie. I mean, the action is boring as hell. It's not an action movie. If you're coming to this to say, oh, I want some cool action or something like that, it's boring. And they did... I mean, it was a forgettable movie. But if you're trying to do something like like the original Charlie's Angels movie, you know, where that had this quirky fun and stuff, you know, you kind of, yes, you kind of hit on that. It was the same kind of thing, but it was so... Here's the problem. Men movies, you like to see women. This, you didn't really get to see men. You know, women like to see men.
Yeah.
Women like to see handsome men. There's a reason why Chris Hemsworth, in nearly every single Avengers movie or Marvel movie that he was in,
I'm
he
pretty
has
sure
his
Chris
shirt off.
Hemsworth in every movie he has his shirt off at
Except the last one, Endgame. He was fat. Oh,
Yeah.
his belly was hanging out.
Yeah.
But that's
But-
why Captain America, or I
Well,
mean,
that's why the Twilight
always-
movies, Twilight 2, 3,
oh, you always
4,
had
you always had
Edward
Wolf Boy.
with his shirt off.
Wolf Boy.
Wasn't that Edward?
No, Edward
No.
was a vampire.
Oh my God! When his shirt came off, all the girls puked. What was his name? Yeah, Wolf Boy.
So
shirt off.
it's like you have
You
to
want
have
to see.
both.
You want to see a sexy guy. You want to see this. So, what's funny is, like, you just didn't. There was very little sex appeal men in there for women. What's really strange. So now that does not bring a movie down.
Fighting Patrick Stewart,
That was
a
stupid.
90-year-old man versus a 40-year-old
That was
woman.
dumb. That was dumb.
I would hope you'd win.
Now, but here's the thing: like, when you look at the movie, what makes this movie boring? The movie got boring because within the 40-minute marker, I looked over at Michael and I said, "What are they trying to do again?"
Yeah, I mean, they never said, "Oh, it's stolen." So
Well, you know, one of them was stolen. You know, a few of them was stolen, but you didn't know
that was
like,
all of them.
You didn't know. Okay, wait. Well, is that every single one of them? And at the same time,
If it was every single one of them, how come she went into the lab and found one?
but at the same time,
Wouldn't they pick
why
that
is
one up
that
too?
dangerous? Because they have to reprogram it. So why is that dangerous? Nobody else knows how to reprogram it but her.
Only
So
one person knows how to reprogram it.
yeah.
Um,
So where's the danger lie? In the whole movie, they were like, we need to get these things back.
Yeah.
Why is there danger then?
If everybody could program it.
If it was easily programmed.
Right, but they couldn't find anybody easily programming it. So it's like, then why are you worried?
Why are you worried even remotely?
Right. Why do you care?
There's no ticking clock
right.
of we need to hurry up
yeah.
because of that. Now I guess somebody could figure it out, and
Really?
that's where the danger lies. But
I never had a moment in this where the bad guy is so on top and they have to rise up.
you need
From that.
for a villain. See, here's the thing that what made the ending boring. There was only one bad guy that could even hold its own.
Yes.
So I didn't feel, when he was away from everybody else, I didn't feel any kind of threat. There was no threat.
And they never versed anybody that was like
A threat.
What was the guy's name that died in the first boss?
Oh, Dijon Housoen? I don't know how
Either
to
way,
pronounce his
either
last
way.
name, but he's awesome.
Why didn't they go up against
Dijou?
somebody?
Dijou? Something like that. It's so
Not
weird.
nobody
Pronounce his
was
name.
as big
He's
and
cool.
cool like him.
And
Go
he's such
up-
a good actor.
Go up against a bad guy that caliber, then I'd want to see the tension and everything. There was no tension. Everybody was like, I would go, okay, I'll fight him. But I never had a moment where I'm like, oh,
You don't, but you know what? You could have a small guy. I mean, look at some of the Mission Impossible movies. Sometimes you have a small guy, but he's ripping everybody apart. He's doing all these moves and everything, and you're like, whoa, he can own everybody.
Yeah, but you actually got like cool stunts. Like this was, we had a close up of Kristen Stewart kicking off a wall 2.5 feet off the ground, just so she can get 3 inches taller than the person to come down and hit him. I don't buy that. That was
No,
That's the extent of
The action was absolutely terrible. It was not an action movie. It was very boring. But they didn't, for a movie like this, even when they did the Ocean's 11 kind of middle ground, where something, oh look, we have to try to get this here and and take this out of the place. I mean, I say I say Ocean's 11 because they're stealing something, but I mean, you can say Mission Impossible, the first one, where you have to steal something out.
Mission Impossible is very much like this, where you have no action. You have some action in the very beginning. You have all the action at the very end. Okay? in between, there's no action. But you get the most memorable and iconic Mission Impossible scene of all time in the middle there. And that is stealing the names and everything.
You want that to be,
but that was so
intense.
That was so intense.
It doesn't have to be action, but you want it to be intense. Here, it was. We're just having fun.
They tried,
the whole time.
They tried,
and you're like, well, I don't feel any intensity. I'm actually bored watching it because I don't feel any kind of intensity in any sequence.
They don't know what they want it to be. Do I be completely over the top and self-aware? Or do I be just a fun spy movie? So, Mission Impossible had that correlation. It was intense, but then it had moments of levity with the what was his name? He's now in all the other Mission Impossibles.
Simon Pegg?
No, I'm talking about the black dude. He was from the first one.
Oh!
Him.
Oh, yeah. He was in 1, 4, 5, 6. Yes.
What was his name? You're good at names.
Oh, give me a second. You just threw me on the bus. I was thinking about something else real quick.
He had moments where he and the others would have those like little one-liners of levity. Okay, not just, hey, I'm going to just joke the entire time. They would ease the situation every now and then. And this tried too much in like me. The characters were like me. And I felt the same way with Simon Pegg.
I knew it. Ving Rhames.
All right. I felt the same way with Simon Pegg's character when he first started in the Mission Impossible movies. Mm-hmm. But it grew on you.
Now, I will say this. The characters started branching out and being their own character.
Right.
Later throughout the show.
Now, I wish there was... Yeah, I mean... they were more fleshed out as they went. All the characters. So I wouldn't say that the characters.
You know, the weird thing is, I wouldn't say it's a terrible movie. I wouldn't say it's just. It's one of those movies that just. Oh my god! It annoys you. It's just. You're bored. You're just bored.
It's just.
It's passable for a movie that's just boring.
I wouldn't.
The original Charlie's Angels, it's like Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. It's like the sequel. You just bored.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like everybody phoned it in too. Kristen Stewart was not acting at all.
You have nothing that draws you in, and you can tell when a movie is the editor and the director feel it's boring. They throw in a lot of pop songs or something for transitions.
Oh, there was that one part.
If you are like, oh, okay, it's getting too slow, let's throw in some music to lighten it up. Okay, we're transition music and this and that. Oh, it's gonna pick it up. It's gonna make it. No, you're just saying it's boring.
Well, they had that one part that should have been the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, where we pulled back.
Them on the boat, and then it's like, and it's like showing the music even brought in. And you were like, is this the end of the movie?
Yeah, that would have been a perfect ending.
Actually, that would have been a more interesting ending because then you're like, nothing got solved. Now I'm like, okay, is there gonna be a sequel?
But then it would have been too short for a movie.
Right? Yeah. But you know, the movie...
That's the way the movie should have ended, not on a high note, like a, woo, we're good. It's like they're beat up, they're...
I absolutely hate it. I hate any movie that at the end, it's like, oh, look, we have an army with us. I mean, where's the levity of... Where's the gravitas of this? Yeah. I mean, there's too much... Like, it's like, look, we have such a grand arsenal of people behind us. And yet, why didn't you just use that in the very beginning? Who cares?
How many angels do they have? Why didn't they have all the angels at all times going on? No, it was only us three. but all the others are in the background.
You know what's funny is I've seen a review of this movie, and people kept saying like all men were treated badly, all men were terrible. That one guy and they kept using that one guy who would always like, scan her and stuff for like a weapon. But that's not him being sexual harassment or anything like that. That was him literally just trying to find a reason to talk to her, to flirt, to try to say, hey, do you remember me? Hey, that's one of those pathetic, he's just a pathetic guy. And doing his job and wanting this girl to communicate with this girl. He didn't grope her. He didn't do anything wrong. He was just pathetic.
But as now you have to look at it in his point of view. He sits behind a desk all the day long. How do you meet the pretty girl?
Exactly. And so he was like, oh, I'll go check her. And so he wasn't annoying her. And the movie tried to, or no, not the movie. Keep in mind the movie.
Banks.
No, not even her. People are trying to point out that they're trying to say that every guy is bad. They kept looking back on his death as something bad. No. They're like, oh,
no.
Girl who killed...
The girl did. The girl did.
The girl did. Well, then
everybody else makes fun of it.
Yes, every other girl made fun of it, but they also... Girl who killed Richard. Girl who killed Richard. And they kept saying that stuff, but... I think they were trying to say, look, we're not trying to say he was a male chauvinist pig. No. We weren't trying to say he was a bad guy. He was just a desperate, geeky, like, terrible.
Yeah.
He was just one of those people.
I actually felt bad for his death because he was doing his job. He didn't work for a terrible company. I mean, he didn't know. He worked for a company that was... power company.
I'm starting to laugh because I realize that we're talking more about this one meaningless character than anything else in this movie.
But look at that guy. Look at that guy. This is why you should feel bad for him. Yeah. Because he worked for a power company and he was the security guard.
I didn't like Kristen Stewart's character.
Hold on. He was trying to flirt with a girl just because he's like, oh, she's cute. Let me flirt with her. Because I sit behind a desk all day, I don't meet people.
Not necessarily flirt, he was just talking to her.
And it's not like he did anything bad. It's not like he did something inappropriate. He's like, over your, okay, you can go.
You know, the weird thing is, she kept, the one main girl, I forget her name, that becomes a Charlie's Angel. She was like, oh, my boss flirted with me. I never once saw the boss flirt with her.
No, he touched her on the hand to basically say,
let it go.
Let it go.
And but it was never done in a flirtatious manner. They were like, he touched her hand and he goes, let it go. It was almost like it wasn't like flirtatious. That was like it was just supposed to show I'm serious. Let it go.
Yeah, I mean, if he was like this, if he instead of grabbing her hand like this, flirting is grabbing her hand like this and saying, blah blah blah. This is serious. This is
it's
flirting.
not like he did this or petted it or anything. It was let it go.
That's serious.
So
you put your hand on somebody's shoulder when you're like, okay, I'm being serious. Hey, we need to do this. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but is
that flirting?
It seems like that's what he would have done. The character, that's what he would have done. But he was behind a desk, and her hand was right there. Right. So he's like, listen.
So she said he was flirting with me. It's like, okay, no, he wasn't.
No.
And then, oh look, this guy Richard, laugh at him dying when he should be some It's a tragedy. He died.
A thing about the characters is the one girl tried to stay very basically the characters were so bland. I don't remember their names all that well. But okay, so you have the Kristen Stewart's character. She was trying to be like almost Joker-esque. It's like, oh, let me lie about where I came from, and it's like, oh, weren't you an heiress? And she was like, more money, more problems. And you're like, so wait, the whole story you just said, was that fake?
it's
I don't get it.
So okay, we talked about this for a while. So
There's a lot of problems.
The characters are okay. The action is okay. They make levity over killing people. I've seen that in other movies, in honest people dying, and I've had that problem with other action movies that are. It's like, hey, like Gamer was terrible for me. I hated that movie because everybody. These guys work for a company, a game company.
Let's not get into that movie. That's
You're
gonna
murdering
take hours.
everybody.
We're gonna be talking about hours about
Right.
how terrible that movie is.
So, either way,
This movie has nothing wrong with it being a full woman's movie.
No.
I have no problem with it. It's just not a good movie.
no.
It's not a great movie. It's not even a movie worth even remembering. You watch it and it's over with. You're like, oh, okay.
I would just like better opposition, which I have a problem with that with even superhero movies, even all the X-Men movies.
I had a problem with that at the end, near the end of Doctor Sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, there's movies that have that thing where it's like, oh, where's the opposition? Where's the gravity of the situation? It's just, meh.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, that's just a thing that a lot of movies have the problem with, and that movie has the same problem. Is there's no gravity to any situation.
Yeah. But that's it. Is it a bad movie? Nah.
No, it's just forgettable.
Is it misogynistic? Like against male misogynistic people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
There's
see
a
that.
lot of it.
You see that, but does
I
it
mean-
ruin the movie for a man? No.
Nah. I mean, they have one good guy. That, at least, women don't need no men. Well. Yeah, she actually likes a guy at the
I
end.
thought the Brock guy was pretty funny when he started getting
He was.
getting like this almost weird flamboyant way.
Right.
He got funny.
So, all right, that's it.